Hi everyone, it's Michelle. Welcome back. I know it's been quite a while since I filmed a video. Life's just been a little hectic again. Nothing bad is happening, but you know, I've just been busy with a few things. But I had a little bit of time today and I thought I would film a quick video to share with you a couple of new things I bought that I'm really enjoying and a couple of sort of things in my collection that I've rediscovered and I've really been loving, and I haven't necessarily heard a lot of people talking about them lately, so I thought I would share them with you. The first thing is a foundation, and it is the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC+. This is not new. It's new to me and I love it. Let me tell you how I got to this though. So I saw a lot of people talking about the new IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC+ Illumination foundation. So I went and got it because so many people were talking about how great it was, and I have to tell you that when I put this on, I loved the way my skin looked. I loved it. It was so smooth on my skin and it wore all day, but it is full, chock full of micro glitter. And that is not an exaggeration. And I just couldn't, you know, I would go outside and see all that glitter all over my face and think, someone my age should not be doing that. So I'm returning this. But I loved the way it looked on my skin, how smooth my skin was with the formula, that I took a chance that the one that wasn't Illumination was going to be just as good. And it is. So, you know, I'm returning this one and I purchased this one. So I am in the color light. There's not a lot of colors to choose from, so it's either going to work for you or it isn't. But I love this. First of all, it's an SPF 50+. It is broad spectrum UVA, UVB. It's a total mineral sunscreen, so no chemicals, which is good because that can irritate a lot of people. I don't believe that this would be very good for photography though, because there's so much chemical sunscreen in it, or physical sunscreen in it, that you're going to get flashback. There's so much mineral sunscreen in it. But for every day, I really love this, and it's got such a high SPF in it. It's fantastic. It goes so smoothly on my skin. It is a good, solid, medium coverage, I think. Which for a CC cream is really good. You know, my skin stays hydrated all day. This wears really well for me. Not like 15 hours, but I get a good solid 8 without powdering. So for me, that's enough. And if I powder it, it will wear longer. And it's easy to touch up. So if I need it to go longer, I just come in with a paper, blotting paper, and you know, take a little of the excess off in my T-zone, which is the only place it ever breaks down, mostly on my chin, and I just touch up with a little bit of powder and it's fine. So I really, really love this. I highly recommend it. For those of you who haven't seen it, I mean, it's been talked about a ton. It comes with a pump. Again, it's only in a few shades, but it is great. There's also, it's paraben free, it's chemical sunscreen free, anti-aging hydrating serum, it says. I really like this. I actually do all of my skincare under it though, and I just put a little bit of primer in my T-zone and then I go in with this, and I just love it. Just love it. Okay, so I also, a lot of people have asked me what my opinion is on the Morphe brushes, and I hadn't tried them. So I ordered a couple, just a couple to try, based on sort of some videos that I saw and that kind of thing. So I picked brushes from the gunmetal line, so the synthetic brushes from the gunmetal line, and I bought 2 of them. The first one I bought is the G2, which is just a pointed, it's a very dense, somewhat pointed foundation brush, or it's a face brush. You could do many things with this. It's very dense. I typically put my foundation on with a beauty blender. That is my method that I prefer, but I thought this one would be good for blending out concealer under the eye. It is so soft. The synthetic hairs are very, very soft, and it's dense enough to just sort of blend this really well and smooth the skin under the eye while you're doing it. I really, really do enjoy this, and it's so soft. It's much softer than the Sephora ones that I have that are pointed like this. This is a little more round, but the bristles are so much softer that I really like it. So I'm really happy that I bought this. And I am thinking of picking up a couple more based on my experience with this. Also, I've washed it several times. It comes clean very easily. It hasn't shed. It didn't smell when it came, that kind of thing. And the other one I bought was an eye blending brush, the G17. And this is just a fluffy synthetic crease brush, blending crease brush. This I love, love, love. I use them both every day right now. This works really well. A lot of times with synthetic bristles, you don't get a good blend. The bristles just don't grip the product enough. This is great. This is great for powder. It's also great for, I use cream shadows a lot. It's also great for blending those out to just sort of soften the edge and that kind of thing. I really like this brush specifically. So much so I'm considering picking up a couple more of them just because I love it so much. And it was like $7.95. So great product. If you own any Morphe brushes and there are ones that you highly recommend, please let me know which ones they are because I am considering picking up a couple more. They're very affordable brushes. I really, really have enjoyed using these two. And again, bought them myself, ordered them myself. Okay, so the next couple of things are some products that have been in my collection for a while and I haven't used them for a while and I sort of rediscovered them and I've been loving them. So the first one is an eyeshadow palette. It's not new, I've had it for quite a while, and it is the Laura Mercier Artist Palette. So this originally came out, I think holiday 2013 is when I originally got it. It's a great palette. It has, you know, browns and purples. There's some warm and cool tones. It's a combination of mattes and satins. And so there's a really good combination of transition colors and lid colors and darker colors to use as a liner and for the outer corner. Love it. This is a palette you could easily travel with because there's so many looks in here that this would be all you needed. So I sort of pulled this back out and it's been sitting out on my vanity and I've used really nothing but this for the last couple weeks and I'm loving it. It has so much variation, so much variety to choose from. This is a great palette. This is sort of like you could have this palette and nothing else and you wouldn't get bored for a long time. Love it. And the last thing, oh, and while this came out in holiday of 2013, I believe, I think it was either re-released or something, but you could get it again on Sephora, and I will see if you can still. I don't know if they re-released it or what, but it seems like maybe it's available again, so I'm loving that. And a lot of you may have it because you bought it back in the day and you just haven't used it since then, so I'm loving it. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about is a translucent powder. So I sort of rediscovered my Laura Mercier translucent powder, and this is something I've had for a long time, and I pull it out and I use it and I love it, and then for some reason it gets pushed aside and then I forget about it. And this is a fantastic translucent powder. It will last you forever. It's very finely milled. It's so soft. And it works so well. Like, I love it for setting my under eye concealer. Really, it's beautiful for that. And just for like if you need a light dusting of powder just to sort of soften any shine you might have, this is fantastic as well. It doesn't really give any coverage, but it's a beautiful, beautiful product. When I set my under eye concealer with it, I do it with a damp beauty blender. This is a trick I learned, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago from a makeup artist friend of mine, and I love it. If you haven't tried that, use a wet sponge to set your concealer. It just smooths the skin and sets the concealer so beautifully. And I've recently seen people like, I think Wayne Goss talked about it recently and that kind of thing. It really does make a difference when you use a wet sponge. I happen to prefer the beauty blender, but you could use any damp sponge to press a very lightweight powder in to set concealer, or anywhere that you have sort of fine lines or larger pores. If you use that trick, it does smooth the skin really, really nicely. So just as a side tip, but I love the Laura Mercier translucent powder. It's not drugstore, but it's not super high end, and this will last you forever. It's one color, it's translucent. I happen to love it. So that is it for today. Hopefully you found that helpful. Again, if you love any of the Morphe brushes, please share with me what those are, because I am considering picking up a couple extra. And if you have rediscovered anything recently in your collection, please let us know. I love to get those kind of reminders about things that I might have in my collection. So that is it for today. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day, and I will talk to you all again soon.